Hey guys, it's Steve Zulu28 from Camaros.net, hanging over there, usually around the body shop forum. And today I'm making another video about the removal of the inner and outer wheelhouses of a first generation Camaro. I also want to point out, as you can see over my shoulder there, I got my new baby, 80-gallon compressor from one of the local stores around here. It's Catch Me Out, go big or go home, you know what I'm saying? So here we go. I wanted to talk about the removal of the inner and outer wheelhouses and also the structural importance of those parts. When I first got into it, I thought, you know, it's not that hard. You just remove a panel, replace a panel, and you call it good. Well, that's not really the case with the inner and outer wheelhouses. They really tie in structurally, and they're very important for the first gens. And I'm sure the other, I don't have any experience in the other ones. There's a little disclaimer, I'm not an expert. I'm just a guy who's doing this for the first time and thought I'd share some stuff that I've learned while I'm spending all this time in my garage. So the first thing I wanted to say is we'll talk about the structural integrity of the inner and outer wheelhouses. As you can see here, there's a big gap right in this area right here. And it's important that you brace up the frame rails on the front and on the back, because as you can see, there's a lot of gap right here, a lot of gap right here. Oh, there's just that little piece of sheet metal right there. That's the only thing that's holding the rear frame rail to the rest of the car right now. So it's important that you brace this up, and so stuff doesn't move when you got the wheelhouses removed. Because as you can see, like I said, there's just one big gap. Also, the other thing I wanted to talk about real quick is the method of removal. And as you can see on the top here, the inner and outer wheelhouses are connected to the inner quarter panel brace right here. And all I did was I just took a regular drill bit and drilled all the way through all three layers of metal and removed them that way. And kind of dorked that guy up. Yeah, you're not supposed to show that sort of stuff when you're making a video for your friends to see. But anyway, so that's the way I remove that sort of stuff. And then for the rest of it, including this panel right here, there's three areas here where you weld, and then the trunk hinge assembly right there. And along this trunk pan seam right here, what I did there is I used a method that I learned off of the tools forum, the spot weld drill bit Comparo for the Camaro that I put together. A lot of good feedback from that, guys. I appreciate that. But anyway, what I did is I just took a 4.5-inch grinder and I ground all along this seam right here, because I didn't know where each individual spot weld was, and I knew I was going to remove the entire wheelhouse, so I wasn't really concerned about that, about keeping it. If I was, I would have used a spot weld drill bit. But anyway, I went through and I just ground the whole thing down and you got to keep moving on this stuff, because if it starts to overheat, you'll end up burning some paint, and then you put off some noxious fumes, and I particularly don't like those. You know, the whole cancer thing, this isn't really my bag. So anyway, I went through and I went back and forth until the metal started to blue in spots, and that was where I knew it was the thinnest and the weakest. And finally, when I got to a point where I felt comfortable, I stuck the old air hammer in here, which is my favorite tool now, and I just started separating the metal, and it started peeling up really nicely, leaving only these little guys right here. Now the nice thing about this method is that the little circles that the spot weld cutters can leave, or either little holes or little like half circles, there's none of that when you do it this method. And all you do is leave these little guys right here, which you go through later with a grinder. I just haven't done it yet. A grinder, and then you follow it up with one of those 3M roll-lock discs, and smooth it out so they disappear forever. And that way the remaining metal is virtually untouched, and it's good to anchor down the new wheelhouses to. So that's my my topic for today. And as you can see, my car's coming along pretty well. I'm making a lot of progress, and I've had a lot of time lately to put in here, so I'm very happy with that. But anyway, we'll see you guys around the forums, and thanks a lot for your input. Appreciate it, guys. We'll talk to you soon.